Get ready to be amazed by Natalia Grossman, the powerhouse in professional rock climbing. With a knack for conquering heights and crushing competitions, Natalia's climbing skills are out of this world. She's snagged gold and silver at the World Championships, dominated World Cup events with a whopping 9 gold medals, and even punched her ticket to the Olympics.
So Paris was my first Olympics, and the competition didn't go exactly how I wanted it to go. Yeah, I started climbing when I was 6 years old, so I was fairly young, and I lived really close to a climbing gym. Resting is part of training, and I think it took me a while to realize that. I'd say one of the biggest challenges is just like the mental side of climbing and competing. I don't think it's given enough credit. I went to school for psychology and I want to be a sports psychologist. I love both of my parents a lot, and I feel really lucky to have the relationship that I do with them. Normally at this point in the year I would have done like 8 or 9 World Cups, but I've only done one, just because I hurt my knee and then wasn't able to train and compete.
Hi guys, my name is Shreya. I'm from Essentially Sports. Today we have another Olympian, Natalia Grossman. Please welcome. Hi Natalia, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. How is Olympics going on?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Today's the last day, and we leave tomorrow, so lots of last minute things.
Yeah, we just waited for the best for the last minute. So how was Paris Olympics? Was it your first Olympics?
Yes, so Paris was my first Olympics, and the competition didn't go exactly how I wanted it to go, but just reminding myself that to even be here is a privilege and something to be proud of.
Well, it's a long road ahead.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about rock climbing, because it's such a new sport to Olympics. How did you get into the sport? How did it all start?
Yeah, I started climbing when I was 6 years old, so I was fairly young, and I lived really close to a climbing gym. And I kind of just stumbled upon the building and was curious what it was and wanted to start climbing right away. That was in Santa Cruz, California, and throughout the years I kind of just became more involved in climbing and wanted to pursue it even more, and here we are.
Yeah. So when did you realize that you wanted to go to Olympics, because it came to Olympics at a very late time? So I'm sure when you started it was not an Olympics time. And so when was the moment you thought, okay, now I want to pursue this for Olympics?
Yeah, it was after the 2021 Olympics. That was kind of when I decided I wanted to try and make it to Paris, and it was announced that it was going to be an Olympic sport when I was like 14 or 15, so I was pretty old. I didn't grow up as a young child watching the Olympics being climbing, I want to go there for climbing, just because we kind of never thought climbing would be in the Olympics. So it was a somewhat shorter journey.
Yeah. So is there anybody in your family who's involved in this sport, or you're the first one?
I'm the first and the only one.
Yeah, I was the only one to do it, and you're here at Olympics. So you trained with Chris Sharma. Is he your coach, or you trained with him?
No, I just met him for the first time a week ago in Barcelona.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. He's one of the greatest of all time.
Yes.
So how was your experience meeting him?
It was really cool. He's actually from the same gym I grew up climbing in.
Oh, nice.
When I was younger, and he was probably my biggest role model when I was younger. So it was cool to get to go to his gyms in Spain and get to meet him.
Yeah. So did you get any special tips from him?
No.
Okay, cool. So take us through how tough rock climbing is as a sport, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know the nuances of the sport. So how do you guys train? What are the biggest struggles training for rock climbing, and how just a day in an Olympian of a rock climbing sport looks like?
Yeah, I mean, training, it looks very different for different people. I think even for myself, I've gone through phases where I've trained a lot more or trained a lot less, and trying to find the balance of not having my whole world be about climbing.
Yeah.
Because in reality, you can't train every day. It's not one of the sports that you can do that, just because it has such a high impact on your body. So resting is part of training.
Yeah.
And I think it took me a while to realize that. I normally train 5 days a week, and sometimes multiple times a day, or sometimes I don't. And I'd say one of the biggest challenges is just the mental side of climbing and competing. I don't think it's given enough credit. like obviously the climbs are hard and you want to like become a better climber, but we face a lot of mental challenges.
I think that's a very important point because a lot of people might not think for mental health is also an aspect for rock climbers. So Simone Biles talks about something called twisties in gymnastics when you're up in the air and you lose control. So is there something like that in rock climbing as well? Because you guys are also like at the top.
No, I have never heard of any like term for that in climbing. It's more so just like learning how to manage your beliefs and just injury, doubts, expectations, pressure, nerves, things like that.
Okay, cool. So how was the experience living at the Olympic Village? It was your first time.
Yeah.
Did you get to meet anyone you were looking to meet? And how was the food? How was the rooms? How was the atmosphere?
Yeah, so I went to the Pan American Games in October, which I think prepared me well for this because it was very similar living in a village there.
Yeah.
It was just smaller. So here, I really enjoyed it. I was going to stay with my parents, and then after 2 days in the village, I was like, actually, I just want to stay in the village and be around all the athletes. Like the atmosphere was just, it's been indescribable. It's been so cool to be around so many high-level athletes and to walk around and be like, oh my gosh, like, that's Noah Lyles. Yeah, just seeing, people I've looked up to. The food, it's not like the best thing ever, but it's there. It's very easily accessible. There are good items. I think it's been great. I don't have an issue with it. And the rooms, the beds were really hard, so we ended up getting mattress toppers. Our whole team got some of those, so that helped. And we have like an AC, and I really enjoyed it.
That's great. Are you going to the closing ceremony tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
What's the one thing you're looking forward to?
Oh, I don't know. Probably just seeing all the athletes from different countries.
Oh yeah. Were you at the openings?
I was not.
Oh, you were not. So it will be fun to just walk with the American flag. It will be really cool. So let's talk about this one time when you were 17 and I read that you were undefeated from 2019 to 20 and you have been on podium for multiple times. So from the journey, from the time you were undefeated, it must be very exciting, and from there to now you're 23. So how has the journey been from there to today being at Olympics?
Wow, so much has changed.
Yeah.
Like back then, I was just starting college, and that was like undefeated in the U.S., not like worldwide. And that was kind of the year that kickstarted everything, and I think made me believe that like I could do what I wanted to do in climbing. And then having everything shut down during COVID for a while, and having that time just to like climb outside and then eventually get back to training and showing up to the World Cup circuit in 2021 without any expectations, but so much belief in myself, and then having a great season on my first World Cup season definitely like showed me what I am capable of. And I think that's something that in these past few days I've been thinking a lot about and just trying to get back to that point because I was so confident back then, and I think it showed in my climbing. And I think I've been through so much as an athlete in the past like year or two, dealing with I wouldn't say failures, but learning points and hardships, and so trying to just channel that like underdog personality. It's so much easier to be the underdog than to feel the expectations and pressure.
But this time you're an underdog in LA, you'll have some different level of pressure when you go to LA as the two-time Olympian. So hopefully that you make. You competed against Brooke, who won the bronze medal. So how was that experience? She was also your teammate. So take us through that moment on the Olympic event. How were things there?
Yeah, she won silver actually.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
My bad.
It was so cool, yeah, watching her in person yesterday. Just seeing all her hard work, and I know she's been through a lot in the past year as well, and through her journey of trying to qualify. And so just to see it all amount in this one moment was beautiful, and a moment I'll remember forever.
Yeah. So the world doesn't know a lot about you. So if there is one thing you would want your fans to know about, what it? This is your moment.
I guess I went to school for psychology, and I want to be a sports psychologist.
Oh wow. So are you going to, if not rock climbing, that is the career you would have pursued? That's nice, that's nice. So what does the future holds for you after this Olympics?
Yeah, well, we have a World Cup in a few weeks, 5 weeks, so I'll go home.
Oh, you won't get time to rest.
No, I don't want to. I want to go. I feel like this past year I've been resting all season. Normally at this point in the year I would have done 8 or 9 World Cups, but I've only done one. Just because I hurt my knee and then wasn't able to train and compete back in May, so I wasn't able to do the World Cups this summer, which I would have liked to do. So I'll go home for a week and then, go home, kind of have a more chill week and then get back to it and compete in 2 more World Cups.
Already back to competing after such an exhausting Olympics. So which has been, the one injury that has been the toughest for you?
Yeah, so I tore my LCL and popliteus in my knee in May, and that was my first acute injury I've ever had. So that was not ideal timing, and I think that's definitely the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with mentally. It took a lot away from me. It made me lose all my belief, and I wasn't able to train at what seemed like a critical point. No one wants to get injured right before competing at the biggest competition of your life.
We're proud of you. There's a big road ahead of you. You're so young. There will be a lot more Olympics for you. So you're here with Ole, and tell us about your relationship with Ole. How does it makes your journey seamless at Olympics?
Yeah, so I use Ole every single day, or normally twice a day. Anytime I wash my face, I use Ole cleansing melts. I use all 3. And normally I start my morning by taking I take a cold shower just to wake up.
Yeah.
And then in the evening I like to take a warm shower after training and just clean my face, get all the chalk, sweat, anything else that's there. I live in Salt Lake, and it's been 40 degrees Celsius, over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so lots of sweat. And it's been awesome partnering with the brand. It's my first beauty sponsorship. Yeah. So working in a different field and getting to meet lots of new people.
Well, you got the best.
Yes.
So if there is one person who has been the most important part of your journey, who you would like to dedicate your journey to, who would that be?
Probably my mom. I love both of my parents a lot, and I feel really lucky to have the relationship that I do with them. And even though I don't live in the same state as them, we talk every day, and they're there to hear everything going on in my head.
That's great. So do you suggest young people to take up sports climbing as a sport?
Definitely, yeah. It's never too late, and you can start while you're young, but you can also start when you're older.
Any special tips for young athletes who want to, get into the sport?
I think just have fun with it, just try it, and if you love it, keep doing it. If you don't, don't force it.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much, Natalia. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking
to
you. You're so sweet.
Yay, thank you.